Hello, my name is Andrew Eckmark, and I'm doing a report on the word Vergangenheitsbewältigung for the class German 88. My analysis will focus on this piece by The Economist that talks about how a new TV series brings up the Second World War and how Germany has gotten through it and moving forward. Unser Mutter, unser Vater, literally translated as Our Mothers, Our Fathers, aired in Germany in 2003 and prompted debate as the topic of Vergangenheitsbewältigung is addressed. I watched the entire series of the TV show in order to properly analyze this film and how it portrays some Germans throughout this time period. Without further ado, here's the trailer for Generation War.
Wir waren 5 Freunde. Wir waren jung und wir wussten, dass uns die Zukunft gehören würde.
Spätestens Weihnachten ist der Krieg vorbei.
Ja.
Weihnachten in Berlin.
Weihnachten in Berlin.
Weihnachten in Berlin.
Wie sehe ich aus? Wie ein Filmstar.
Ich habe Deutschland immer gut und treu gedient.
Sie wissen, warum wir hier sind.
Sind hier, um Dienst am deutschen Soldaten und damit am Vaterland zu leisten.
Der Krieg wird schon einen Mann aus ihm machen.
Auf den Endziel!
Wir führen einen Krieg.
Das ist doch kein Krieg.
Doch, ein neuer. Wir sollten uns von der Welt verabschieden, wie wir sie kennen.
Die Juden werden nach Osten geschickt. Es sind keine Deutschen mehr. Nicht für sie.
Ist nicht merkwürdig, dass Züge vollfahren los und immer zurückkommen leer.
Wenn ich berühmt bin, werde ich schon dafür sorgen, dass dir nichts passiert.
Spätestens Weihnachten ist der Krieg vorbei, hast du gesagt.
Wie hältst du das nur aus? Nichts ist so, wie wir gedacht haben, Gretel.
Glaub mir, der Krieg wird nur das Schlechteste in uns zum Vorschein bringen.
Macht doch keinen Sinn! Es gibt keinen Sinn! Gott hat uns verlassen!
Wir waren unsterblich. Wir sollten es bald besser wissen.
Hast du dein Foto noch?
Na klar.
Now, on to the analysis. I find it incredibly interesting that in the trailer, as well as the show, they portray a Germany where everything is ideal and right. The 5 are friends, as pointed out, even though one is Jewish, and the year is 1941, already in the middle of the war. Then as the war grows on, and Friedrich engages in his first military actions, and has quote-unquote turned into a man, as the show insinuates, they begin to do terrible things. The show almost seems to make you feel sorry for these people, caught up in something that they truly didn't belong in, and that they desired to be out of by Christmas of the same year. This viewpoint brings up a lot of controversy, obviously, as tensions are incredibly high. The character Friedhelm to me is the embodiment of the war changing people into monsters, rather than the people being monsters to begin with. One of his turning points comes when he loses a friend to a minefield laid by the Soviets. As his friend is doomed to die after tripping the mine, he tells Friedhelm to say hello to his sister for him. After that point, Friedhelm comes up with the idea to force Soviet peasants to walk through the minefield first, therefore tripping any mines in the swamp. The producers of the TV show how an innocent person who is not a bad person at all can turn into an animal to survive. The show has been criticized by some for making it seem as if all Germans wanted out of the war to some extent. Rather than exhibiting the traditional form of German Vergangenheitsbewältigung, which is apologetic, the film series showed a side that Germans themselves were victims of a hopeless war. Wilhelm, one of the 5 original characters and an officer in the German army, quits the service after waking up alone post-battle and is later driven into a penal battalion where a sadistic Nazi officer drives the men insane with tasks to the point where eventually, in a seeming triumph of a good Germany versus an evil Germany, Wilhelm kills the battalion leader to escape. Friedhelm also kills a Nazi diehard attempting to kill his friend, one of the original 5, because he is a Jew and a resistance fighter. These narratives show a different Germany than that which is remembered and shown throughout the world. This choice by the directors has brewed debates throughout Germany and the world. Finally, the film also documents atrocities committed from all sides. It depicts Polish resistance fighters as extreme anti-Semites. It shows Soviets murdering POWs and wounded German soldiers, and it shows a gut-wrenching massive rape scene of German nurses when the hospital is overrun. This further provides an ulterior Vergangenheitsbewältigung, as it shows Germans as other victims as well. The only mention of Hitler is when he is screaming into a radio and immediately shut off by the doctors of the hospital, who refuse to listen to his babblings. This depiction of World War II Germany has sparked controversy with the Times of Israel, saying the show could be called Just Following Orders, the movie. These interesting debates have stemmed and continue to reshape the policy of Vergangenheitsbewältigung.